they ban split too, because that's something that NRG has been bringing the fade out on as well, and I don't think that we want to see them go after that.
So
At
my
least
mic was
Ghost
muted,
doesn't.
so I could still can't do a review on
No
this
way.
restaurant. But let's talk about it at least on Haven as we start things off here with Ghost on the attack. This is a good advantage for NRG to start because this has been a map where Ghost has been so good on, and now they have a chance to actually play more reactively. And it's a decoy coming out from long A, and a Proto who gets flashed by that. That's Som playing towards this long A side, and he also has the gate crash available if he needs to. Actually, it's currently off. There's a Haunt coming out as well, as Ghosts are trying to fight back towards the long A side.
That was a neat little play to get that across. We see the rotation back from the defense to C. And now everything cuts audio, reset. You see him prepping, throws over the wall here, coming from the side of John Cutie, rather. And they get into the site. Brock with one, Koala another, man's.
All right, well, this is going to be Ghost overwhelming and fighting into the A site as Brock and D goes for another headshot, leaving Ethan and Hayes, the last two players, going on this rotate as Ghost gets the spike down. One towards the heaven side and the other one towards the spawn. And that is going to be Ethan waiting for this Haunt to come back so he could actually set it up. The paranoia from spawn side, the Haunt into the site. But we stay at least in close corridors under a hell on this double setup from Ghost.
Nicely played, having so many flashes, so much util, a lot of firepower coming in with this squad. The Breach, you can smoke everything off with the Astra. And Ghost doing really well to kind of feel at the beginning of the round, allow NRG to reset positionings and not really set up a strong defense, but not a weak one either. Just get them spread out enough to make sure that A hit with a swarm of utility went in favor of Ghost. Let's see how they continue to play that. We'll keep an eye on Sam's Yoru from round to round here. Our trademarks were more focused towards C this round as we see that towards A for Ghost here. Looks like they'll default a little bit to see if NRG is going to go for any buy pressure.
Continuing right now with the Ethan and Som pressuring towards the A side.
Yeah.
I like the little combination he talked about on the desk here, Riv, of how it's going to be nice, the amount of utility that's going to come out of Som, and I think that combination with what Ethan has as that fade is going to bring a lot here into the defense for NRG on the A site.
It's neat. It's a neat combo. I want to see what they can make out of it, right? They're still already playing next to each other, Ethan and Som, as you were saying, and creeping up, as you should. I mean, if you're going to play Yoru on the defensive lines, what are you playing? So already Som pushing up with that shorty, trying to get close. And that default is somewhat spreading towards mid here for Ghost. They're going to go ahead and Boomba. EU almost makes it out of that one, but he is going to get hit by the Prowler.
Yeah, probably hunted down by Nismo on top of that, too. Nice combination, and we're trying to counter back towards the back flank, but that's Nismo to continue to save his teammates. That's a player advantage going down on the attacker side. Koala Noob looking down towards the sewers where they never thought that anybody was there for NRG's side, and things are looking good here for Ghost to capitalize and turn around that piss-around victory.
Just slow rolling around here for Koala Noob. Nice try by NRG. Tex had a good roam towards mid if you saw it throughout the round. He kind of pushed up almost all the way, backed up, no one cleared him, so he was able to get those few shots going into garage. NRG still trying to get under the skin of Ghost here, but 2 quick rounds for Ghost. Looking solid to start. We'll see what they can provide here for their first bonus round. They set up the same trademark as last round. Rod's trademark here for the side of NRG. And looks like we might get our first bit of tension here as they suss out what's going to happen mid.
Yeah, at least on the attacker side, looking to what they could do, a default a little bit here, watching these garage doors, trying to see if anybody's going to peek out, maybe a teleportation coming out from Texas position, but he's just holding strong here in this garage. There's that battle, forcing a TP away, and it's still going to be map control gained by Ghost, who are going to move very quickly into the C site. You see the combination, the retaliation from Hayes with the counter flash as well, but it's still going to be NRG lighting up the scoreboard this time, leaving Nismo on his own, or should I say Proto on his own, who then gets picked off here by Som on a fast there.
Som already with the plays. We see the cross map plays coming in. Combine that with the chamber. I just punched my microphone. I don't know if you heard that. I'm getting excited over here. Som got a smoke from Hayes at the beginning of this round. You see it still over there on short A at Garden. And that's exactly where Som was too. But wait, he's in the back of C now. Yeah. They completely bolster the strength of C. Som picks that one up, and everybody else is safe enough to hold their positions. Nobody gets pushed out by that swarm of util Ghost has been using. Awesome cross-map defensive play there by NRG to show how they're going to use this Yoru so far.
So good, actually. From from the first look of it as well.
And he has it set up again, Vance.
Exactly, the gate crash towards that C site for Som, but Ethan's playing the close corridor, so he's going to need some help. He's going to need some flashes. He's going to be needing to get some trades out on the defender side. The Kuala gets the kill through the smoke, the second one onto Som.
Vandal spams. We've been seeing more Vandals come out of those smokes with the win. And there's another one. Already this round getting spicy here is that bonus did not go in the favor of Ghost, and they wanted to get right in the face of NRG to start off. They've traded 2 for 1 so far, as NRG looks to lick their wounds here and set up a bit of a 3-man defense on Sewers.
Attacker side, ult here coming out from Ghost.
Oh, that
double peek coming in from Sewers. It's spotted by a Proto, gets denied, but that's 2 players spotted, at least on the attacker side, getting ready for this one, and they're deciding to walk back. And look even at this minimap, Rivington. We actually have a rotate back from Hayes too, just in case, so they're reading this perfectly from NRG's side.
Yeah, he already was starting to trail over, doing a great job of feeling that tempo of Ghost right now. And they have gone kind of from site to site. They've been touch and go on a few plays already, so it's good for NRG to read that consistency. And again, same trademarks we're seeing here, so they have time to play the map, and that's exactly what we're getting here. 15 seconds to get that spike down on C.
Paranoia misses the flash.
10 seconds
now
left.
Hayes is playing the back of the site. Easy kill onto Brock, trying to get the spray.
So
and the
sneaky.
kill onto John Cutie. There's no time left on the clock.
That's it.
Somehow, John Cutie decides to go for the swing and the trade instead of the plant. And that allows Hayes to get the triple kill and put NRG on the board to tie up the game.
You know, it's not his birthday, but he might as well just wear that birthday hat all the time after rounds like that. 5 and 3, the controller controlling, as C has been getting a bit of attention here. We saw him come up huge just a few rounds ago. Here, solo play and even shoulder peeks just to grab the tour de force shot out of Kuala Lumpur, who has been hot in their past series. Still 6 and 3 here, so nice job to kind of mess with that flow that Ghost has been feeling. Brings it back to 2-2 here. Vans, those trademarks don't seem like they're getting too moved, but again, a bit of a default as we get instant fault lines to slow things down.
Yeah. Even a fake out to come out here from Som, realizing from that information, especially a Prowler coming in towards Sewers. They know the A side's clear. Look at how fast his rotation is coming out from NRG.
Yeah, they're kind of just leaving the sites, right? Getting themselves into position to use util to retake. I mean, Fade and Yoru aren't going to really do too much alone. They can get you flash, but you're probably still going to overwhelm. So great choice by NRG to set up here. And Ghost as well, saying, how much are you going to peek us? We've gone down 2 rounds. They want these sheriffs to go to work this round. It looks like it might be through B. Tempted there, but slowed down.
As well. EU, though, does get the first blood. We're trying to get a creep inside that smoke, but Ethan was ready for that. So this is going to make the plant a little more difficult here for Ghost to get into the site and try to get a plant in this B site. To decide to pull back and cut noise just for a bit. Re-execute to the site, knowing that if they go into garage, most likely there's going to be a trap there. So Brock trying to just creep in slowly with help from John Cutie, at least trying to go for the double swing trade, but there's just so many members of energy inside this B site. Okay, Proto. We've talked about his sheriff so long ago, and it's good to see it ring once again.
NRG weather that storm. Ghost doing a little bit of damage, but NRG seemed like they had control of the round completely here. A lot of ults online. This is where it starts to get real spicy. 6, 7, 8 on these rounds. Nismo's close. Kuala Lumpur just got away from that, but has the operator. So you're almost looking at the same. And we'll see where Ghost Gaming walks with Brock, because that's going to be a big play for the Rolling Thunder. Looks like a big focus on A as they congregate over there towards Garden. Are we going to get a peek out of mid here by text, though? Can we get early info to stop this?
It is very
whole
aggressive
team
going in
bans
here, and even the Yoru pushing forward, and that Som stopped by Nismo. That's a huge first blood, but there's still 2 more players from NRG down towards Sewers, and a rotation's coming out from EU as well. But we talked about the ultimates at the beginning of the round. There's a lot that could suppress the push into the A site. A big battle coming in, the gun sticking out from the dual defense of Tex.
Oh my gosh.
And Proto's just going to be ready for that one. Should be
Not
the
like
easy kill.
this.
People should be rotating back from Ghost or start to re-hit after cutting noise. This is why utility is also coming out from NRG. At least a Prowler from the long A side. The opshot coming out against Hayes. The swing out as John Cutie greets him with the bullet between the eyes. And now EU answers back from long side of that. You already saw Ghost booking it back towards the C site.
And again, Ghost touch and go. They play that and really reading the awareness well of how much defense NRG put to stopping what was happening at A, right? So they immediately say, well, we haven't covered mid as usual. Pull back a proto. Just seeing the edge of the tour de force there, able to come up with that play. So a really great kind of early to mid-round read there by Ghost to reset this play that NRG also had a good read on. They're kind of just butting heads, and it's who can come out on top after that right now.
I agree, because you saw the amount of utility that was used into that execution from NRG on a defense. We went from a fault line to a paranoia to the decoy that came out from the Yoru, and then suddenly it's still going to be Nismo that doesn't shoot the fake out and actually wins the fight against Som, knowing which one's their Yoru to shoot, and that was a huge opening blood to allow Ghost to tie up this game.
So NRG, a strong push on that one, setting the pace, get confident with that, and Ghost absorb it. So we do see that NRG trying to take control of that flow. Not give Ghost too much control. They're back on the ultimates now, and NRG didn't have to use too many that round. So this could be the explosive one that starts to decide where this 3-3 goes. Maybe still punch for punch. It seems like they have each other on that read. And now in kind of the momentum in favor of Ghost, I'd say here. Doesn't seem like they're going to pile everybody into one spot. And with the spike down, gate crash towards BC. It looks like they make it a bit of mid-pressure here in the mid-round.
Utility on both ends just to nullify A side control, but it's going to be won by Tex, who gets a forward position with his operator down towards sewers. Meanwhile, though, you could see the setup. A huge stack going in from NRG towards mid and C side because of all the ultimates that they could use for the retake on A. So Ghost, this sign, and knowing that, will just fight against them on this B side to start.
Good Prowler to start. It's Som aware. Ghost will reset here as they're looking for Qualinoo to get this first pick. I mean, if it's not him, we see Nismo on those first kills, right? Van's just blast packing in the showstoppers there, and that could be the possibility as Nismo is the first step into that garage. There's Nightfall. No pressure just yet as they see how NRG is going to react to this.
They're already setting up here from the ceiling side just to battle into the C main. So John Judy's playing just under that window side. There's a frontline Elise coming out, a Nightmare coming out, Elise from NRG as Showstoppers going to try to counteract. Lots of flashes coming in as Som is coming out of another dimension, but still stopped by Nismo. Still after this post plant, the retake's coming back here from NRG, and it's up towards this garage ramp. As the smoke comes towards the front side. This is looking really good here for NRG to try to retake the site because this smoke is going to be a lot. You're going to have to try to spray it across a huge flash, but a trade comes out from Qualinoo. That defuse is about to come in, and on a 3 versus 1, NRG is going to get it.
Wow. Just leaving the site. We kind of heard the analysts talk about this, is playing a bit more of a retake style. Well, that right there, it was a retake style from NRG. Ghost with nice movement around the map to kind of penetrate through to garage. And then we saw 3 members of NRG actually right outside that garage window. And even EU with his arm out and ready to fault line as they went in for plants to already start a bit of disruption and get those dominoes falling. Really nice trap they set for Ghost there. We're still on a gun round here, but the armor for NRG continues to dwindle. So you see how much it hurts as their members go down, even with the round wins in their favor. Gate crash over towards C. A big push here by Som Vans. Oh my word. He's got backup by EU as well. Can get out, get a fault line or a flash just over his shoulder. And still a proto though on this lurk. He's come up big on it before and they're getting a bit of temptation over here at A.
Som was holding the angle, but the battle didn't come out here. The Proto was able to push him back, so the rest of Ghost are pushing inside this A side. Hayes up towards the heaven side. Where's that smoke? It couldn't come out because the Proto was so busy trying to fight out Som. They lose a player in the process, but at least they get a plan.
Great call there. There was a distraction forward, the smoker on the side of Ghost. They pay for it. Hayes goes down, though. They get the retribution, and Nismo cleans it up. Does he repair the mistake?
What a
combo.
combo.
It seems like it's so far 2 to the top side. They're going to have to drop into the site. And it's going to be a tough one here for NRG to execute on the post plant. EU, though. Frisbee's a blast pack up towards window, and a Proto will finally find a frag at the end of the round. The ultimates seem to just, again, butt heads. We said it before, Vans. These teams are reading each other on rounds where they might have an advantage, shut each other down one after the other or one more each. 4-4 now as NRG is going to go for that timeout.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one, too, because if you're looking at the history of these rounds and the ultimates that were built up by NRG, they seem like they had the upper hand of it. Yeah, maybe Som's not really putting too much in terms of the fragging department, but he's been an integral point to try to, or integral part, rather, to find the information out of his utility with his fake-outs, allowing the rest of NRG to be ready for that. And after stringing 3 rounds in a row and a little bit of a back and forth, interesting that we have the timeout right away.
It is. Whether it's a reset or making sure they're using something that they practiced, right? Because it doesn't seem like anybody is really faltering too much, as you said, to call this out and change something. So maybe it's a reassurance. It's a deep breath. Make sure we're using our composition as we bring to the table, because you do have that Yoru. And he has been really helpful going across the map. Maybe they do more with it now and again go back to some aggressive rounds, right? They employ that Yoru once again. We'll see if Som can create that distraction. It hasn't been bringing the frags to the table, but still a lot of game to go here in this series as we get into our 9th round. Guns back on the table, a little bit of that armor back in the favor of NRG here as we see their trademark for NRG. That's just going right into garage every time almost. Ghosts is moved, and it makes me think they're going to go back to a bit of C pressure here for this round.
Yeah, wanting to use the operator back towards the long A side when they have the operator in hand. He's done it towards sewers as well. Speaking about text, once again, you have a stack more numbers towards the C side. Utility to start things off. Fault line coming in on that decoy. The flash comes out, but that's going to be it. Just for a bit, it's just going to be Yoru in the back of the site. Som's getting pushed forward. Going for that flash around the corner, but here comes cavalry towards that C garage side, and it's going to be a Proto and Nismo making it a 3 versus 1. Only the operator left here for NRG. As the off angle is out there, the elbows out, and Nismo gets a 4K. And this guy and his entries and his support on that C site on this map against Ghost has also been a treat to watch.
I mean, everybody trusting each other there from Ghost. If NRG kind of went from one round of playing outside the site, this round they played in and they paid for it with the fault line coming through. The flashes through default, as you see, they turn the corner and Som can't see a damn thing because Brock is all the way down at the end of C, safe with Spike, firing flashes over his teammate's shoulders. Really nice scaling of the site there for Ghost to get behind default and make sure they got the frags necessary. Off the rip here, Vans. A little bit of A control for Ghost.
Very quick. We tried to get some satchels into the sewers too, but the fault line stops him for a bit, so Nismo, one of the key players of that previous round, is just slowed down in his tracks towards sewers. Texas trying to walk down on the op shot, and Nismo gets the first blood. Ethan, the second line of defense, as he's trying to just go for the jiggle peek and get the information if anybody else is peeking out. But Ghosts are just doing a good job just to hold their angles, playing it very cautiously, cutting noise after the first blood.
And NRG trying to play a little bit of the info game before they play the fight game now. Hayes pushed up. Some calls for a controller at A. He smokes all the way over, and he may have to get a move on this one. No ultimate for him. So he throws out another smoke and still waits for the full execution call from his team. NRG's ready for an A play, though.
Ethan goes to work there for 2 kills from Hell. And here comes a showstopper on the attack that answers back onto Som, but Ethan is still in the back at Hell side. The double swing Nismo once again. 3rd kill on the board as Hayes is going for that flank. Against who? Nobody yet. Up towards the sewer side as the spike gets picked up. Swing comes out, and somehow with the fake plant, Nismo gets a quad here for Team Ghost.
We said if it wasn't Koala Noob coming in with any of the operators or the Tour de Force, Nismo is going to be there on the opening frags. Blast packs down into short. They wait patiently, and they've almost executed that a few times. The side of Ghost has Van Silly. And getting in there and then backing up has been what they did in the rounds before. There they waited for NRG to see if the space was clear and then receive the kills instead of looking across the map. So a little switch up variation from Ghost as they finally separate few rounds between themselves and NRG, and Koala Noob is back to the operator as we see after a round on the Vandal.
With a full pop at the C side, 4 players move up towards long and your Proto watching the flank, and we still see that same fault line that allowed that space to be taken, but this is just easily given away by NRG because they could have worked with the Rolling Thunder.
Yes, exactly. More of a retake style. Once again, that utility is in place, so they all set up. A method to the madness. Again, the Nightfall, the Rolling Thunder. Will it be the rolling blunder? Is NRG trying to enter the site here, Vans? What can they produce?
A's at least produces 1 kill on the retake as Nismo gets caught by the Nightfall, swings out for the fight, another towards Garage. The game sense out of this guy, but no kills, unfortunately. Last 2 players of Brock and John Cutie down towards the long seaside, and we know how Brock is in these situations where they're at a disadvantage. The first headshot onto Ethan. He goes for the fault line long range. The Rolling Thunder on top of that. It's halfway the fuse. That hits
Smoke
2
is
players
perfect.
and forces them back, and that clock is still ticking down. What a shot there onto Som. A 2 versus 1 as John Cutie gets the kill. Hayes gets the second one. He's trying to come in with the fuse on a 4K. Will he get it? Not enough time as Ghost will get the round.
What are these rounds? NRG almost brings it back within reach to find a 6-6 first half, but Ghost says no, they want a little more and stretch another round out. 7-4 as we see the final round here of our first half. Absolutely incredible stuff there to delay the defuse, especially with the smoke perfectly placed for someone to do it just outside of range. The util usage there, you called it, Brock, in the situations, shining bright. What a round.
Breaking the econ for NRG in this last round, but thankfully they still have the ult from Tex. And that battle comes back and ensues towards the A site to start things off, and Nismo's just waiting for that first blood once again against Som. A gate crash forced out from the paint shells, and that's a big win to start things off here for Ghost.
This team honestly continues to surprise you, Vans. I cannot wait. I'm so glad we have more of this series. That's how it works, right? Already ecstatic with this game. Already. So gate crash goes over towards A. NRG has it in the back of their mind that Ghost may want to crash again onto a site, but look at the spread of Ghost. Again, to this bit of a default. Fade and sewers on the side of NRG. We see that as Ethan looking to make the calls. And they have EU set up in the back. If he has to fault line long or is the fault line short, they have that possibility. So we're seeing how they can get around this map and move. As it looks like Ghost will finalize towards C. What a distraction this could cause.
Oh, he eats that boombot too, thinking he could kill it.
He wanted to take the
forces
fight.
Now Som to rotate back and look, the C side's a little bit open, but thankfully the Sixth Sense comes out here for Som. He stays behind default. He gets dinked through the boxes too. Gets gravity well, the aftershock. He's trying to hide anywhere that he can, and he decides to go for the smoke. Here comes the Nightfall now for the Fade side on the attack. Som comes out. And it's still going to be a couple of trades in. 10 seconds left on that clock. John Cutie and Kuala Nu just letting it up. And Ghost will be able to get the half here, 8-4. After a timeout that was picked by NRG, it's definitely Ghost that took the advantage. But now let's go for that break and see if NRG could get that energy back. We talked about a great start here for Ghost in that pistol round, but a good comeback by NRG following their gun rounds. But looking at this matchup last week here, Riv, we know that it was going to be a harder match for any team playing against Ghosts with the comps that they have on their defender side. This is a very impressive composition, very hard for the attacker side to take advantage of. Well, I want to know what NRG has prepared.
Yeah, Ghosts have seemed to refine this composition here. That attack side was fantastic. We'll see how they defend, and you're right, we'll see how NRG now uses this Fade, this Yoru, all the util they have to go forward, and it is instant B-plant here, and it's not the jet, it's not the dash out. They're making sure they just gate crash to safety.
I like that. Officers coming in too, no pressure coming out from Ghost. They were working the extremities, and they still are with 3 players in that choke. It's waited and watched by EU. Alert that's trying to come out from the garage side, greeted by a Proto. That brings up another fight that a Proto wins as well towards the garage. Here comes a Prowler out from Ghost. That forces out once again the attackers back into the spawn side, back out of position. A Haze still continuing to go to work here in the 3 versus 2, and the defuse is definitely coming in. Haze is trying to do as much as he can, but that defuse is going to happen for Ghosts, and they get the pistol.
Spectacular showing of patience. You kind of get that feeling like Spike's down. Oh no, we gotta go. And Ghost kind of just took their time, 3 towards the backside. A Proto as well, knowing he had to deal with maybe more than one. Took his time. What a nice little retake there. Great team. Okay. Great teamwork. We call that the classic with cheese. Yeah. Great little teamwork there. And yeah, a pistol round for Ghost that just completely shuts down that quick plant of energy. And they don't decide to use that money too much. Som will have a share.
Losing both pistols, hurting NRG right now is
Yeah.
only with classics. Nismo's push forward. The Spectre out. Yes, good job here for NRG to flow it through and trade it out. Crawler at the same time and shots to follow it behind. But no kills connected for John Cutie as the action slows down for a bit with NRG cutting noise. But the flanks coming out at least from grass.
Yeah, quick push all the way out of Rendezvous. So they're looking to hold these positions, at least play for audio if they're not for the frags just yet. No way, Koala Noob's pushing. Of course he is. Doug talked about this on the desk. There's always more that can be taken by pushing, and that's Koala Noob. Here he'll get all the way up the garden, and this is only forward for NRG now, so let's see how the util works and if they are getting far enough away from
There's still utility watching it too, so Koala Noob could actually line this all up, and that's the spike down. Last 2 players stuck inside that site. That's going to be an easy sweep for Ghost.
Just a slow suffocation, Vansili. You're like, well, they haven't been here. Process of elimination, opposing team elimination. That's how that one went down. Ghost, seeing that there was blood in the water there, and they just took the rest. 10-4 here, and you were saying it. You know, the compositions that Ghost is bringing, how fast they've been excelling. A lot of pros as well sharing their opinions that Ghost is one of the most improved teams that we've seen throughout the year. So, yeah, they're showing it, and they have the consistency to back it up here as they're taking on NRG. 10-4, we start this round off. A lot of defense set up towards that C garage side for Ghost side. And NRG looks like they want to poke at this mid again, poke the bear, and see if they can get Ghost to really move around in their defensive setups.
Now, Haunt to start things off didn't ping anybody out, but they're okay with that. They still have information deep inside this B site from this trademark left behind by Quality, allowing 2 players to play inside garage. A little bit more of a passive play into B. On the other end, though, for NRG, they're just going to swarm in and get this plant.
Replay there, a little bit less on the util use too. They kind of get in dry, so they have more for the retake, and I like the BA take. They garrison one side of it with the haze hold. And again, Ghost patience. They retake, waiting for somebody on the other side of the map to be able to affect the team as well. The opposing team, sorry. Windows heard.
Big spot. The rest of them are just going to play inside the site. It's really on the player's inside window to try to pinch back towards the grass. But after that, that's going to be so much information for Hayes. Big paranoia comes out, though. EU gets a kill with the aftershock, and Hayes still wins 2 fights inside grass. Though, as everything else unravels inside that B site, it's still going to be NRG taking the upper hand.
Ooh. That kind of like, you're praying a little bit. You're putting your hands together. Hey, Hayes doing some dancing there to get out of that situation. Dodges that, sees 2, kind of has a quick distraction on target choice, but target fixation comes into play, and this time it's good. He comes up with that. NRG with a really nice play there. They repeat a play we saw before, but without telling Ghost that they were doing it, right? They went in, got out, and set up defense, and Ghost was like, holy crap, they're in our home territory right now.
Exactly.
Nice play by NRG.
Just because Ghost continues to go with these pushes and flanks around the mid side, just a change of strategy from NRG to push into the A link, making it harder for the ceiling players to get into the B site, was actually a great call by Hayes there on that previous round.
Quick Prowler utility out there from Ethan. Kind of just suss out what's happening across the map. We're not seeing too much yet. It does look like Sam will take a bit of the lead. You see EU behind him for a lot of these plays. They're going to get cover here to move towards sewer, make something happen. And there it's like you see over the shoulder, EU flashes through, and Sam is looking to get these opening frags in here. They don't have the raise to go forward. They're trying to create these off of wide swings and peaks and swarming a site here for the side of NRG. So they have a bit tougher time executing disruption, I feel, for Ghost. See if they can get in here and make that happen. Close quarters. They still have EU. He's set. That's enough disruption in some cases, and it looks like they are going to be hitting the A site, fans.
As a fake, because the rest of them are towards that grass side, and they go for a fake as well. You saw that fault line, the fake TP. Everybody's switching back towards the C site, but there's still 2 players of Ghost waiting in here, including a Proto inside his smoke. The swing towards the right, a beautiful aftershock, allowing a Proto to get that triple kill. And that spiked down with 10 seconds left on the clock. You heard the showstopper coming out of the hands of Nismo. That's just going to be the call here for the last 2 players of NRG to save their weapons for the next.
Able to hold, not really feeling distracted by the utility that they're facing in that situation. A Proto just kind of squats down and mows down a few with his Phantom. 11-5 here. in favor of Ghost right now. A really strong showing for the start of this series versus NRG. Both 1-1 in that Group A. So as Smix was saying, this definitely means a lot here. We're pretty deep now into the groups, and there isn't much time left to get the rest of those wins. So here's the play already. Great control, using his own Nebula just to play in and around the angles that he wants to create. A Proto coming up 14-8 right now. Looking good.
Important game for both of these teams, NRG and Ghost.
Absolutely.
That's just going to make this group with 3 teams at 2-1 and 3 teams at 1-2 in the group stages of Group A for the NA VCT. So it's pretty crazy how even all of these matchups in these teams are. Baby Bay in that previous interview, when FaZe actually just won against Cloud9, talked about that. Literally anybody could beat anybody, but I think this is actually a real statement going into Stage 2 right now versus the kind of Valorant we saw last year.
Yeah, and looking at this, fans, Ghost is versus NRG right now, and then beginning of June they have TSM, and then mid-June they have 100 Thieves, who has been coming online as well. So getting this win against especially 100 Thieves right now, and TSM, who's also kind of, you know, getting this new life, this vim, vigor, and vitality, if you will, it is almost a must, right? And NRG's feeling that same pressure, so we continue to describe what this game means for both teams. It looks like Ghost may be able to solidify a game 1 of this series in just a few with how they have now defended the second half. Oh, already toyed with.
Waiting for it.
Satchel out.
The satchel here, Son, the paint shells, the flash. It's just a battle between the 2 duelists.
Oh dear.
Now the swing comes out and still Nismo that wins it. This guy, he's on a different level today. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Nismo from even today, even last week, actually, now that I think about it.
The fault line plays, the knowledge. You're right. Yeah, it's ridiculous the way they're common this utility to really pick apart NRG, especially on that one. And just hiding. We haven't really seen this play from Koala Noob. He's been pushing. What is he doing up there? Yeah. This time playing a very defensive round, and it traps NRG for 2.
But fault line counter prowler from the attacker side. A C's on the ground with another flash, but Ethan's still going to stay alive for a bit. Big rolling thunder comes out though as EU gets that frag. That allows him to push forward. Okay. He still has a flash to work with, make that even 2, but that just allows to create space for the rotation from Ethan towards that C site. But here's a Proto, the one that's anchoring all the time. Now he's going to hear this spike pine coming inside C.
30 seconds left.
So good. What a great call for a Proto. He's always been here. Always seems to have a bit of the timing that might catch you in the transition or have just enough to give your team the reliable kill. Not this time, though. EU, no, it gets it to Brock for the trade.
So important for the last 2 players to play aggressively inside the spawn side, but there's another fault line coming out of Brock.
C's up.
C's onto the ground here, or at least a haunt about to come out as well for Ethan. This could be everything for him right now as the spike's not planted for him. The tap. ADS. First headshot there onto John Cutie, looking for the Red Bull clutch, and he's gonna get it!
Did they really think they could scare me?
Needed everyone! Literally down to the last drop. Oh my gosh, Ethan. Cold as ice on that round. Had to decide. That's almost not one of the toughest 50-50 angles, right? But he cuts it on default, so he doesn't have to swing left or right as far, and does force a forward position on his next kill. You can't wait for somebody to come to you in that situation, so it was great on him to push forward and tempt the first frag, because eventually at that point you're going to find yourself a 1v1, and he did just that. Like you said, much needed that round. NRG gets a bit of life and more energy on their side here, Vans. You see this fault line continuously coming through, trying to disrupt things to start off.
Koala Noob just avoided all that utility to be able to get that first and second kill with the operator. Elise ult from this agent, dropping that spike, continuing to move forward, and he's just going to hold W. He's feeling that confidence. A flash to Prowler, the spray. He's trying to get this shot onto Ethan, but it doesn't work out. No trade-off from John Cutie, though, as Texas trying to go to lurk towards the mid side. Waited and greeted by Brock. Last 2 players are Ethan and EU, and Ethan is hurting badly into this round.
Seems like they're trying to rotate Brock around so he can answer anything that NRG has here, but they should, again, have this kind of creep. No. Oh, John Cutie's waiting there. He's going to be able to call this one. And just one, Ethan stays alive. He does not get grazed. Instant nightfall.
Last player standing.
Even an easy kill onto EU. Now Ethan's at 1 HP as he gets decayed by that hit. An easy swing for John Cutie, and Ghost are at map point.
Match point.
Ghost on the Haven. NRG decide to pull out that Yoru. It does not seem to have played the way that they wanted. Maybe there's a lot that they wanted to do, but Ghost's speed, you know, there's anything you can speculate on here. But it does, the defensive side, we saw that potential of just being able to transition the map, along with Chamber as well. But Ghost wasn't just hitting one site. They were getting those transitions of energy out, kind of feeling like they might happen, and then re-hitting, kind of with a second wave. Here, NRG look to keep themselves in this. Get out. And that's going to be an easy ultimate from Yoru to stay safe. Sam's still in there.
Dimensional drift to get information, trying to use so much utility into the site. It allows for himself to get a kill, and 4, actually energy to get into the site. As they hear the TP back towards the mid side, they know this lurk should be coming soon. Rolling Thunder on the defense. Nightfall coming out from the attack. It's the upside down world, but it's still going to be a nightmare for energy to try to hold that site. The last person to go is Sam at 8 HP, and they're just going to go for that defuse. They swing out. He's flash. He's trying to counter flash of his own. Brock gets the kill, and that's a convincing map for Ghost, winning this first one 13-6.
Absolutely fantastic game.